going to do a Christmas bauble with a textured, layered type of effect. Okay, a very organic looking. I had posted this on Instagram and several others, and people were very curious of how it was created. So I'm gonna show you right now. No two balls are the same, obviously, but the technique is pretty much the same. It's just you playing with it and getting your feel for it and seeing, you know, how it works for you. So we're going to start, and we're actually going to do a small little ball, and I'm going to use my pinky. Actually, no, I think I'm actually going to put a skewer in there. I'm going to put the long tip, the thicker tip, of there. I'm going to make sure my gloves are very on the tips of my fingers, which you have to wear gloves. You do not want to get alcohol inks on your fingers and into your pores. You're going to hear my compressor for my airbrush during this, so don't worry, and you'll hear it come on and off because it has to continually fill up with air as we use it and as it sits and gets absorbed. So I'm holding it with my thumb, and if these are really sticking out, your gloves, you're not going to get a good grip. Now it's easier with the bigger balls, but I wanted to do a small ball because that's what we had done. Having the kebab in there, or the other end of a paintbrush, right? You could do that too. Something that works well, not too long, that's going to come up your arm. So it kind of gives you a little bit of help because I'm touching the end of the ball also. And I know some people will stand these up in styrofoam or, plant foam or whatever. That doesn't work great for the way that we're going to do this, because the way it's going to work is this is literally going to be us. We're going to be like this and moving it around and putting our arms and coming back around, and it's kind of contortionist, right? So you want to have freedom. So what we have on deck today is our airbrush, our table that's set up and ready to go with a bowl. And I would say it doesn't make a mess, but it definitely makes a mess because you're so fast. It's a very chaotic process, and it's very fast moving. And this just catches the majority, right? All of these other messes are where I'm moving so fast, grabbing an ink, putting it down, and it splatters a little bit. So none of this matters that the ink gets on it. And then on the outside of this is glass on my studio table and a giant glass frame that I can clean up with a little bit of grain alcohol, and it will all come off. So I'm not worried. Make sure your clothing is protected though. I'm not going to go over everything about alcohol inks. This is for people who are a little bit knowledgeable. I do have information out there if you want it, but let's just go forth and let's look what we're going to do. We're going to be using, because we're trying to do that ball again, pretty much, I have kind of a caramel rust. What type of alcohol inks you use doesn't matter. I have a black alcohol ink. I'm using a copper mixative, which I will tell you, to get the texture, if you're liking the texture, mixative explicitly help create that texture a lot. And then I just have a patina alcohol ink to help with that rusty effect. And then I do have alloys, which I have to tell you, this is Gilded, a Ranger and Tim Holtz, and I love the alloys. Love it. I did use mine a little bit earlier though, and it kind of takes over everything, so you have to be careful. But we are going to use Gilded. So 2 metallics, Gilded, and then a copper mixative. And then this is not titanium white, but it is fluid. And what I did is, in this bottle, it was half gone, and I wanted to use the bottle, and I don't ever use white. So, for majority of things, it's like an ivory color, like a unbleached titanium buff or something like that. So I mixed in a little bit of the titanium buff and then a little bit of Floetrol in there, and it's almost to the top. So I shook it all really good, right? Because I want it to stay moving really well. Really good to shake it. Your grain alcohol, because we have to have that to make things move. And then this we might use, we might not. This is actually Snow Cap that I have taken, put it in another bottle, and then again I've turned it into like an ivory color instead of white, because like, you know, I just do not use white. If you love white, then your job is really simple. You can just have white snow cap that comes as it is if you want, and which is excellent. And if you want this, you can, of course you can buy this in like Titan Buff. I know I have it, but I didn't want to waste it because it's like brand new and I love this, and I'm kind of rigged it because I've added the Floetrol to it. So, all right, and then we have our bottle of water. All right, you guys, that is what we're going to be using, and our airbrush, and we're going to be ready to go. Hold this aside, and let's see how we do. All right, we're going to start off with a little bit of, I'm going to shake it again. Always shake all of your bottles and uncap them. Make sure everything is open and ready to go, because you want things to be ready as you need it. Because like I said, you guys, this is a very fast, chaotic process. Here we go. We're going to start with a little bit of, let's see, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of green. And then I'm gonna go right in, because this is gonna really help to make, can I get that around? This is gonna really help to make the texture. Okay, not thick, you guys. Don't do such thick lines that you can't get it to move and all kinds of stuff, all right? You don't want to do that. It won't be pretty. All right, we're going to add alcohol again, just because that's going to make it move. We're going to get right into some black. All right, not too much black. Don't want it to take over. We can always add some more. Okay, and it's not going to look good until we get some warmth on there. And we need that, and we need our copper fixative. It's all going to work together to bring our, it's going to look so pretty. It's going to be our patina look, which the key of patina, right, is we know we're breaking up with our grain now. We're breaking up some of, we don't want globs of alloy or anything. You can already see it's taking on a lot. I'm really scouring the ball, looking for globs of anything that's just kind of stuck together. I know this is patina. I want a patina kind of feel. So I'm going to go back and look for little blocks to get, you know, because when you're dealing with copper that patinas, you want to have the patina in there somewhere, right, to show through. So I'm adding some copper, and I got some patina in there. So now I need to activate that just a little tiny bit on the edges. Break it up. All right, and this is your chance to also now, if you think you need more, don't even think I've used my airbrush yet, which is crazy. Okay, but here we go. I'm checking it as I'm moving around, controlling where those drips are going. I don't want it to all become one solid thing, so you want to be careful. You don't have to do highest pressure. I can see I'm drying this a little bit, but I want to get in a little bit of teal, a little bit of hidden places, a little bit. Let's see, like maybe right there. That'll activate a little bit. A little bit right there. The bottom is a little funky, but I think it's good. A little tiny bit of black in there. Remember, anywhere you put it, it's going to reactivate. And it reactivates. Oh, I was thinking that was the copper poo, but we'll fix it. Okay, let's get it. And oh, hope we get that. We can do some gold to break that up that you see, so you can see what happens. Okay, I'm breaking up. Okay, now hitting that, getting that. Okay. And there we go. A little bit of light there. I don't want a big glob of gold. Okay. It's going to look very different when it's dry, and then when you spray it to seal it. Okay, this is the time though, if you're really looking and you're like, I really want to add something, remember, it's going to reactivate wherever you hit. So don't reactivate in an area you absolutely love, because you might not love it afterwards. So give it a chance. Look at it. If it's one side that's like you just don't like, well, that side could be on the part of the tree you don't see. On that side, like you make it face another way. If you really like the rest of it, just keep it in mind. And this is not done. I mean, it's not done. When it's dry and sealed, well, even before it's sealed, we will look at it, and if you want to add brightener, because the texture really picks up on the brightener. I call it brightener. It's just some really great acrylic paint that I rub on, or I know there's rubbing, gilded, there's all kinds of stuff, but this is just to show you the process, right? So these are textured. They are not flat. You can see the texture on there, and of course, it's any colors you want. I love it. I use like an umber color and the cream and the golds, and so pretty, simple, all different ones. But okay, so I think this is pretty dry. Ooh, that'll be pretty though. A little bit of the acrylic came out there. I'm not going to splatter that. I'm going to let that stay. Now, if you hated it at this stage, if you're positive, if you've never let one dry and see what it's like dry, then you should let it finish. But if you absolutely, you're like, oh my God, this is just, like this is definitely, I mean, this will be beautiful when it's all the way done. It's dry, and then I probably will add some brightener to it, and then I will spray it and seal it and shine it, and I would love it. It'll be beautiful. But I'm talking about if it's like a hot mess that you just hate, you can still, at this point, you can do a lot of things. You can use your grain to reactivate areas, put different colors on, let that roll off. You can definitely salvage. The good part is that these balls are very cheap, and it's not really that risky. So let yourself go, enjoy the process, and have fun, right? It's Christmas. Enjoy.